You see a woman with muscle, like they've earned it. You can't buy it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Truth Talks, the podcast that brings you real strategies for sustainable fitness transformation. I'm Courtney, and today I am not joined by my brother Paris. I am joined by Hillary, who is one of our Team Truth members. Hillary, how are you doing today?
Well, thanks. It's Friday. It's sunny. I can't ask for much more. How are you?
I'm doing well because we're chatting. So obviously I'm in a good mood because we're going to be talking about your goals, your success, your journey so far. And I'm going into this conversation already knowing all of the amazing wins. Those who are listening are hearing them for the first time. So I'm really excited to be able to share them.
Awesome.
All right. So let's just start with where you were at with your fitness journey before we started working together and what you've done in the past to kind of get a handle on fitness and life and anything athletic.
So when I started working with you, I had been back to work after my second child for about a year. And I was strength training, but it become less structured, less of a push, and more just kind of like going through the motions of like what I had previously done. So my physique was kind of like softer, puffier than I prefer. Like I wasn't overweight by any means. I just wasn't as like dialed in. And previous to that, I've always been like active. For a very long time, I was a runner. That was kind of like my thing through like my teens and 20s. I had done half marathons, full marathons, triathlons, but like I hadn't got into strength training, I'd say, until like my late 20s. And especially after my first child, when my body was like, hey, all these miles, they just don't feel good anymore. And again, as you kind of get older, what you had been doing doesn't always keep you in the shape that you were when you were like in your younger years. So, yeah, with strength training, I started to see some definition. But again, going back to work after my second little one was born, just kind of lost some steam. So, a girlfriend of mine had worked with Courtney and Paris, and I say they because it was her and her husband. They had like awesome results and sustainable results. So I had worked with a coach before, actually with the same girlfriend, and it was strength training, but also a lot more cardio based. And that's not always a sustainable thing long term. So, um, my girlfriend told me about truth and how it's basically a very sustainable way to kind of get the goals. So I was sold. And yeah, that's where we started.
Yeah, sustainability is one of our three core pillars, right? It's like science, sustainability, success. So we like to think that everything we do kind of is programmed or intentionally talked about with the sustainability lens. So before we talk about what we did that made things more sustainable, I'd love to define kind of the lack of sustainability because you touched on doing more cardio in the past, stuff like that. But you're also somebody who doesn't hate cardio, right? Like you talked about your history as a runner and everything. So let's just quickly talk about what was unsustainable for you in your past experience. And then how did we kind of address that to make things more sustainable?
Yeah. So the previous experience, it was at the onset very cardio intense. Like we're talking 60 minutes, 90 minutes a day in addition to strength training. And from a physical
Wow,
standpoint,
it's
like
a
you
lot.
are fatigued. Yeah, you're fatigued, you're hungry, and also like I have two kids, I have a job, I have a life. That's a lot to fit into your day. Like that's you make your life work around that. You don't make it work around your life. So also a little bit more restrictive in calories and meal plan. Like I think for a period of time, my calories were 1,300 in addition to a lot of cardio and a lot of strength training. Not a lot of rest days either. Again, it was you make your life fit around this, which long term, not necessarily sustainable. It's to make fitness a real part of your life. I think you have to really incorporate it and like you have to work for it, but your day can't revolve around fitness. It has to be a very holistic, natural part of your life to be sustainable.
Totally. So when you think about it, it's like there's a time commitment, there's a restrictive sense that you were feeling at the time. So let's talk about how we started to do things because we did a lot more strength training
Hmm.
versus cardio and stuff. But let's anchor that in a sense of like, what were your goals when we first started working together? And then we can talk about the methods that made those goals sustainable.
I think when I first messaged you with my starting pictures, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think I was that poofy. So
Yeah, poofy was the word that you used.
poofy,
Yeah.
that. And again, like not overweight, just not where I wanted to be. Like I like seeing ab definition in myself. I like seeing like some back, shoulder, arm definition, and just kind of being in the like, I'm not sure if it was a plateau or a rut, but it just, I wasn't seeing that as much as I like to. And that's where we started.
Yeah, we
And my
started
goals
there, right?
were to depuff. So
Depuff.
see that ab separation, see definition in my arms, my upper body, and also I wanted to build muscle. I like the look aesthetically of women having upper body muscles. I think it's like it's the look.
Yeah.
It you carry it well. It gives you a tapered waist, and also you look like a badass when you have like arm muscles as a female.
Heck
It's
yeah.
yeah, it's an accomplishment, right? Like it's not easy to come by. Like women think a lot of the time they're like, "Oh, I don't want to lift weights because I'll get bulky." It's like that's hard. That's really hard. You have to work for that.
I've been trying for 10 years to quote unquote get bulky and add muscle, and I'm still not where I want to be,
Exactly.
you know? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
So
think
that
what
was
you
my goal.
touched on there with the idea of kind of looking like a badass and having muscle and what that means, there's obviously the definition component. You said that I had a defined look in mind. I wanted to see the definition. I think a lot of women forget that definition isn't just the absence of body fat, it's also the presence of muscle because that's what really gives us the shape, right? So we did start with some fat loss goals to quote unquote depuff, which we can talk about. But underneath it all was how do we preserve the muscle that you have? How do we even potentially dial in your training to see if we can build new tissue, right? And one thing I keep coming back to, other than just like the look and how cool it looks, is what it really represents to have muscle on your body as a woman. It's like this embodiment of your dedication to a process, the commitment to not just the consistency that everybody talks about, but like the inputs and outputs and the accepting a certain level of challenge that it takes, functional strength that it takes, mental strength that it takes, physical outputs, working hard. When you have muscle on your body and you have arms that show it, it's like, yeah, it looks freaking awesome, but it also says a kind of something about your character in a way too.
Muscle is the only thing that can't be bought, especially in, I think we're in this cultural zeitgeist right now in the fitness world
Mhm.
where we're seeing the GLPs, we're seeing the peptides, we're seeing these like shortcuts to skinny. You still can't fake building muscle. And that's the discipline. It's those are earned, those are paid for with blood, sweat, and tears over years of
Hopefully less
consistency.
blood than sweat, but maybe a few
Sometimes
tears.
there's blood. Yeah, definitely tears.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So you had a vision for yourself. Like you had a very clear look in mind. I want to talk
Hmm.
about kind of how we started to unlock there because we did. Like there's two key moments that stand out for me. The first one is you sent me a picture of like a shoulder pump one day, right? Like post arm day.
Yep.
And your delts were like, boom. Like we had some solid lines. So that was really cool. And then there was another moment where you sent me like visible abs are there. Like we're seeing them.
Hmm.
And so I want to know from you, like, how did it feel to see those and like take those pictures? Cause I felt amazing seeing them, but it's really about you and how it made you feel.
And I'm kind of like picture shy. Like I don't love taking pictures of myself. Like no particular reason. It's just not something that, gives me great joy. So I don't
Right.
often do it. But when I saw like, okay, there is some shoulder separation, there is like seeing the muscle strands coming through my shoulders, seeing the ab separation. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm a weapon. This is where I want it to be.
Weapon. I freaking love that. We got a badass. We've got a weapon. We got some blood, sweat, and tears.
It's
It's awesome. So, how easy or hard was it to get that look? Was it easier than you thought? Harder than you thought? How did it meet your expectations in terms of what the process looked like to actually get you those visible results?
Oh, that's a good question. I came into this with the expectation of it's going to take time. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take effort. Just from, being an athlete in my previous younger years, it's you don't get results unless you put in the work. So I didn't think it was going to be a quick and easy. I've worked out for 3 weeks. I worked out for a month. Oh, and the abs are back. Um, I knew it was going to take a lot of work. I knew it was going to take that headspace to really find myself in the process and just kind of trust Courtney and go with it. And I did. And within, I'd say about 2, 3 months, like we really did start to see the fruits of those labors.
Mm-hmm.
So again, my expectation was not a quick fix. My expectation was not, I'm just going to count macros and calories and the weight will fly off. Um, but I also was pleasantly surprised that without excessive cardio, that those changes would occur.
Mm.
Again, having a running background, having previous experience with a program that involved a lot of cardio, to me, that almost like mentally was part and parcel of the process. So I was pleasantly surprised at how comparatively easy it was to slowly chip away and get that fat loss results with just being motion based. So having a step goal, having a generally how much movement can we get throughout the day goal.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a win, one that I was really not expecting.
We kind of started this conversation talking about what was unsustainable for you before. And you mentioned like the 60, 90-minute long cardio sessions that just didn't necessarily fit into your daily schedule because you have kids, you have a job that you work full time, right? All that. So by not having cardio be this extra demand on your schedule, I think that was one of the key things we did to make this more sustainable for you.
Exactly.
Was there anything else that helped really reinforce the thought that, oh, yeah, this is sustainable? I can keep up with this for the amount of time I need to get the result, but I can also keep up with this beyond achieving that result.
Courtney saying that there is time for pizza.
Yeah.
So
We
it's
said that today too,
yeah,
earlier today.
we literally said
Yeah.
that today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the nutrition piece I've found to be very conducive to like a long-term lifestyle. It's you are giving me recipes that, have cheese in it, that have carbs in like breads in it, that I previously would have thought would have been like taboo. Like that's not gonna fit the very rigid, narrow meal plan macros. It really kind of supported integrating whole foods, but with flexibility. Having that flexibility in the meal plan and the macros and making it really fit how I naturally eat was a really strong way to make it sustainable to me.
Mhm. Yeah. Paris and I talk a lot about this idea of like, oh, what diet do you guys do or whatever? And like my personal answer is Courtney's diet.
I
I don't
eat
know. Like, and so for you, it was always, how does Hillary eat? What's Hillary's diet? Right. And one of the questions I know I asked you kind of in our check ins each week was, what strategies did you use? Right. To help you stay on track with your nutrition. And you always were like, my usuals, right? Like you have your routines, you have your go to foods, you have your go to planning and prep strategies. And you feel comfortable sharing a couple of those things that just consistently worked well for you that made you feel like you were eating for your own personal life?
Yeah, of course. So, I'm a mom, obviously. I've got 2 young kids, and to me, the way to make it really like stick and be sustainable is your kids eat what you eat, and that's how we've kind of brought our kids up. But that also means it has to have flavor.
Mm,
So we batch prep each night a big serving to feed my husband, my two kids, and myself, and then two extra servings for my husband and I for lunch, sometimes more depending on what we pick up. But it has to have a protein, it has to have whatever vegetables we have in the fridge that gets thrown into the bowl, and a carb. So rice, sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and we have an air fryer. And potatoes go in the air fryer, rice goes
My
on the
favorite.
stove. It's the best. Season the crap out of it. And that's how our family's used to eating. We have sauces. Like, I love ashbar. It is
Yeah.
oh my God. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It is the best thing ever. And it's low calorie.
AJVAR. Type it in right now.
AJVAR. It
That's how you
is
spell it, right?
yes,
Yeah.
it
Okay.
is flavorful. It is nutrient dense. It is calorie light. And we throw that on all of our bowls. So we'll do that a couple of times a week. And that's just how my kids eat. It's, it can be a bit of a struggle if that's something that you're onboarding them to. But at the end of the day, you eat what's on your plate or you're hungry.
Yeah.
And my
That's a
kids
good
like
point.
it. Like, my kids are used to eating like salmon bowls. So we'll do a big portion of salmon. We'll do it with rice. And then we throw on cucumbers, avocado, edamame, tomatoes. And yeah, it's the best.
So
And
good.
so you have a lot of nutrient dense foods that are giving you that volume eating. You have a big, big part of protein. You have your carbs. It's like the perfect balanced meal. And then we literally just make enough so that my husband and I have some for lunch the next day.
I feel
And
like, oh, sorry,
nope,
continue.
no, that's it.
No, I hear a lot of women say that, oh, I have picky eaters as kids, or I don't want to eat differently than the rest of my family. Therefore, I can't really reach my goals. And they kind of see the family eating experience as actually a bit of a barrier. And what you're suggesting is like, it doesn't have to be, right?
No,
It can be everybody has their own portions of things, but like, this is what's batch cooked. Pick your plate, build your plate, but everybody's kind of coming together still.
exactly. And I mean, any balanced meal that you would serve to your family, like, that's good for them too. It's
Right.
teaching your kids how to fuel their body. So obviously there's going to be, I don't want to eat that. I don't want to eat this. But the rule in our family is, well, this is what there is. And again, my children are 5 and 2, so they're still moldable.
That makes a big
um,
difference.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but again, like the earlier you start, and that's like we talk to our kids about what does protein do? What do the different veggies do? What do carbs do? So it's a bit of like an educational opportunity for them too, to teach them how to fuel their bodies, how to make their own good decisions. And again, we adjust it. So, for example, my son doesn't like avocado, so we fill his up with tomato instead. My daughter doesn't like this sauce, so she'll have cottage cheese on it. So it's you can make the little adjustments to make it like customized for them, but it's the same offering.
It's got the same colors. It's the same choose your bowl, build it yourself. There's still the protein available. There's still some carbs in there. There's still nutrient dense options. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we just talked a little bit about home life. I'd love to quickly touch on work life, right? Because unfortunately, well, depends on how you love your job, but work is always going to be a thing, right? And like we talked about the sustainability element, and you have sustainable ways to make your eating patterns part of your home life. How did you find work life kind of coincided with your fitness journey? And how did you balance a full time workload with still checking your boxes when it came to fitness?
So I'm very lucky that I work from home 4 days a week. That is a blessing that I know gives me a lot of leeway. So I personally will get up in the morning, get the kids ready for school, walk them to school so that I get the steps in. And then I work my morning. And then at my lunch, that is my workout time. I go to the gym or I work out at home, but that is like reserved, rigid. That's my time. And then I can go back to my desk for the rest of the day, get what I need to get done. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, there's no time for me to work out. It is kid time, it's family time. We are very active. So lot of steps in the afternoon too. So I've kind of planned my day out so that my steps are in the morning, my steps are in the afternoon, getting the kids to and from school, just being out and about with them. But again, work is always going to be work. It's but in that is my opportunity to work out at lunch. And previously, when I was full time in the office, I would still do that. It would be shorter, but I would go to the gym across the road. I would go out for a walk at lunch. I would still have that kind of siphoned off in my calendar for working out. And I actually would have coworkers come with me too. So it became like a
Mm,
thing.
nice.
Yeah,
Inspiration.
it was great. It was wonderful. Uh, yeah, so you have to fit it in where your day allows. You're going to get a lunch break. It's up to you whether you go to the lunchroom, sit with coworkers. It's up to you whether you work through it. It's up to you whether you, if you work from home like me, use it to sit on your couch and watch a show or read a book, right? You have it, use it. And again, through the day, if you get a break here and there, 10 minutes between meetings, I'll go on my treadmill downstairs and just get some steps in. I'll take the dog for a walk. I mean, if you look at your phone and you see the screen time, you can't tell me that there's not 10 minutes here or there in your day where you could just get up and get some movement. So that's how I work it personally for my fitness goals. It's just knowing where your opportunities are and without an excuse, just doing it. And that becomes my me time during the day. My
Right?
days are busy, work,
Yeah.
kids. That's my own hour to just be in my own head. Nobody can bother me. I'm not responding to emails. I'm not thinking about work. I'm just thinking about my body, my headspace, and just being where I am.
There's one thing you said in particular that resonated. It's like, it's your schedule, right? Like, you
Hmm.
have to know your own schedule and identify your own opportunities. And that's something you've always done. But I think you've always had an impetus to do it because you do see it as this is my time, right? So it's not like, oh, I have to do this. It's like, no, I get to do it. This is the
That's
best
it.
time to do it. And when you spend that lunchtime getting your workouts done, you're then committing to your family time after work as well. Like those two things
Mm.
go hand in hand, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to take away from your family time. You don't have to take away from your work time. You find the opportunities naturally where they are. And some days that could also look like, okay, the kids are in bed. I've got 40 minutes, set the clock. Use
Mm,
the time that I have.
yeah.
It's okay
Yeah.
to be selfish and take time to take care of yourself.
Yeah. And using the time you have is so powerful because it's not trying to force fit more time. And I think time is probably the number one barrier people who work full time and also have family lives do see as like when it comes to their fitness goals, like time is always a factor. But doing something with the time you have and knowing how to be really efficient with it is a skill, right? And actually, one of the things I miss from my corporate life was my calendar was more structured. And so I would actually have designated time slots and then
Mhm.
kind of becomes like it's all or nothing. I got to do it in this time or not. So
Go, go. Yeah.
go, 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 right? You have that like strong, I got to do it now or never. So
Now or
the busy,
never.
the busy calendar and being like, that's my time, use it can actually be a huge advantage.
It is. Having your corporate, your structured 9 to 5, like there is an opportunity. You just have to mentally gear yourself to use it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been using it. We've been putting in the time. We've
Been
been
using
putting in the
it.
work. It's awesome. You're on such a strong roll. Just for anyone listening, Hillary wrapped up her fat loss phase. We mission accomplished on the depuffing.
Very
Um,
depoofed.
and so we've actually transitioned over the last couple of weeks into focusing on muscle building, right? Because as we talked about up front, you're a weapon. We're just going to continue to add the ammo to
Weaponize.
the weapon.
Yeah.
Weaponize. Yeah, exactly. And so what are you hoping to get out of this next phase as we've transitioned now into adding some more muscle?
Again, aesthetically, I love having upper body muscle. It's the look to me because you earned it. And on women, it's so hard to build upper body muscle. And again, with where I am in my life right now, it's also very useful to have upper body muscles. I carry my children without even having to think about it. Like my son is 5 and 55 pounds. I can literally just lift him up
Amazing.
It's good for my life to have the muscles. I can have my daughter on my hip and in my arm and have full groceries in the other. It just makes my life easier to have that strength. I also want to work on just getting definition in my lower body. As a runner, as an athlete, I've always had muscle in my lower body. It's just never been like defined. So that's
Mhm.
what we're working on.
Yeah, and we're starting from a place where you are pretty lean, right? So I think as we add the muscle, we're going to be able to kind of look. It's a slower process, but I'm really excited to see how it starts to come on and where we're prioritizing and seeing how your body starts to respond to that.
And I get to eat more, so it's great.
I know, more pizza and other things,
Uh,
and more ashvar, more nutrient dense options, of course. So,
my
all
cottage
right,
cheese budget's crazy. It's yeah.
how many tubs of cottage cheese do you buy a week usually?
I don't count. It's
You need like a cottage cheese club card where it's like when you buy X amount, you get some for free or something.
they would lose money on me. It's my daughter eats it too, but again, that's the benefit of if you eat this way and your kids eat this way, your grocery shopping is very streamlined. You're not
Yeah,
getting,
absolutely. All right. One of our themes today has been using your time wisely. So I know you also have kid pickup duties this afternoon. There is one question I do want to ask you before we let you go. And that is, what's one truth that you have discovered throughout this process and working together?
So I think I touched on this a little bit earlier, but during our time together, which has been about 6 months now,
Yeah.
at the same time, we really saw just in this fitness health community the rise of skinny being the thing, the rise of the shortcuts with the GLPs, with peptides. And to me, it has been this cathartic, self righteous journey to make muscles something that you earn and
Yes.
to make it something that is like, it just, you can't buy it. It is a badge of honor. It is a real achievement for women to have muscle when so many things can be bought. Take a shortcut. It is one thing that, you see a woman with muscle, like they've earned it. And so that's kind of been my truth. It's this whole process, I'm earning it. And I won't have issues with bone density when I'm older. I will be 85 and still able to run after my grandchildren, bring in my groceries. I will not be frail when
You
I'm
will still be
85, and
on
that's
that
what I'm
hack
doing
squat.
now. I
Hack
will
squatting
be.
230 pounds right now. Let's just call
Yeah.
that out. Like it's strength, it's function, it's everything. And it's, to your point, it's character, it's earned. So I know you are
Exactly.
someone I look at and I'm like, damn, I know you have earned that. And you deserve all of the confidence and ability and self-efficacy that comes with that. It's very validating. Like muscle is
It
like
is.
that tangible validation of the work that we've put in over an extended period of time because we have to be patient, but it's very validating when you start to see it.
And once it's there, you maintain it and you can take it with you. And as a woman, again, I don't want to be that 85-year-old who falls and breaks a hip. I want to have strength, stability into those years and be around and be healthy in my later years. And you build that foundation now.
Absolutely. So, off the back of your truth, what's a piece of advice you'd want any woman, man, or human, dog, I don't know, listening to this? What would you like them to take away from today's conversation?
No matter how busy your life is, make the time to prioritize taking care of yourself because you either pay for your health now in your hours at the gym and thinking about what you're putting into your body, or you pay it later when you are dealing with disease, mobility, not being a healthy version of yourself in your older years. Make the time now because it'll pay off when you're older.
And make the time and use the time you have because that's what I heard you say earlier, which I think is a very powerful thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
You have the time, you just got to find it.
You got to find it. Go on a detective journey, find that time.
Look at your phone, see how many hours of screen time you have, and then do that instead. The
I
app,
do not want to do that. I'm a little scared to do that, but at least I know I'm still putting in my time at the gym. So
I highly recommend the app Opal. That's my
Mm.
non-paid endorsement because it'll show you where you're spending the time and what you could have done with that time instead, and then it locks you out and makes your phone like a Nokia.
Oh, yeah. I know they say the dumb phones are coming back or whatever with some of the younger generation. Make your phone a dumb phone, audit your time. Can be very eye-opening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Hillary, thank you so much for sharing your insights with everybody today. Really appreciate it. I'm super excited to see the muscle that we're going to build in this next phase together. And maybe we can have you back on to talk more about the muscle building goals and journeys in the future.
The weaponization continues.
Nothing more I can say to that. Love it. The weaponization continues. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. And we'll be back in your feeds with another episode of Truth Talks next Monday. Bye for now.